According to ESPN sources, Dillian Whyte and Otto Wallin have agreed to fight each other on October the 30th at the O2 Arena in London. Now, while Dillian Whyte has confirmed that he'll be fighting on that date, he hasn't yet confirmed an opponent on his Instagram account or on his Twitter account. Assuming this information from ESPN is accurate, then it's an interesting choice of opponent for Dillian Whyte. I have to imagine that if they have picked Otto Wallin, it's because of the fact that he had that fight against Tyson Fury where he managed to cut Fury and he did a lot better than most people expected. The idea being, if Whyte can go in there and do a better job on Wallin than Tyson Fury did, then that's going to put pressure on Fury to live up to his word and actually fight Dillian Whyte in December, assuming he gets past Wilder in the trilogy fight. So again, I get it if that is indeed the thought process behind it, but it's a bit of an awkward opponent stylistically. Otto Wallin being an awkward mobile southpaw, because there had been talk of Dillian Whyte potentially facing Chris Arreola. Stylistically, that is more complementary to Dillian Whyte's style, at least from my perspective. Chris Arreola, although he did box against Andy Ruiz, right? He generally comes forward, and that would play more into Dillian Whyte's hands, I think. So, yeah, interesting choice of opponent with Wallin. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Would you have preferred to see the Chris Arreola fight? Do you think Chris Arreola would have been more dangerous than Otto Wallin? I mean, Chris Arreola, at least on paper and probably in reality, hits harder than Otto Wallin. And given the fact that Dillian Whyte was knocked out a couple fights back by Alexander Povetkin, many people will be saying, yeah, Areola's a tougher fight. Just look how Arreola managed to hurt and drop Andy Ruiz in their fight. And Andy Ruiz is a guy with a real good chin. So Arreola would have been more risky. And maybe they're right. I guess we won't find out unless he actually fights Arreola. But with Otto Wallin, there's a different kind of risk. A guy who moves a lot, a southpaw. Has Dillian Whyte ever fought a southpaw before? I can't remember, because it's an awkward thing, especially when you're not used to fighting southpaws. Some people take to it more easily than others. A quick example, Amir Khan, for some reason, seemed to be much better against southpaws than orthodox fighters. Terence Crawford, the switch hitter, notwithstanding. Whereas other fighters just cannot get to grips with southpaws at all. Even really good fighters. So we'll see if this fight goes ahead, how well Dillian Whyte deals with a southpaw. Otto Wallin's last couple fights were Tyson Fury, where he did better than expected, and Dominic Breazeale, where I thought he performed very well. He didn't knock him out, of course, but he boxed rings around him, and I don't think Dominic Breazeale won a single round in that fight. Maybe one or two at most. Dillian Whyte should be the stronger guy here. He's certainly the heavier guy. He hits a lot harder than Otto Wallin. And I have to imagine that he'll be looking to box an aggressive fight. He'll be looking to take it to the guy, hit him, hurt him, and ideally get him out of there. Now, generally speaking, the most effective punch against the southpaw is a straight right hand down the pipe. The majority of orthodox fighters find it difficult to land jabs and left hooks on southpaws because of the fact that the southpaw lead hand, the right hand, basically gets in the way. Okay, and the way their body is positioned differently from an orthodox fighter, it's just more difficult from that position to land left hooks on the southpaw or left jabs. Your lead hands clash, basically. The left lead hand of the orthodox and the right lead hand of the southpaw. So some fighters, of course, like I already mentioned, Amir Khan, seem to be able to do it without too many issues, but most fighters find it difficult. And the reason why this is significant is because Dillian Whyte's best punch is his left hook. And, well, take your pick out of his left hook or his jab. Those are his two best punches. And then you can incorporate body shots as well. But he isn't known for having a fantastic straight right hand. Now, if you put Dillian Whyte against a static opponent or a heavy bag and get him to throw his best straight right hand, I'm sure there's going to be all types of power on it. But when you're in there against a mobile fighter who's making you have to reset yourself all the time, who's messing with the range and therefore messing with your balance and messing with your timing, landing a straight right hand down the pipe is not so easy. So again, this is an interesting choice of opponent for Dillian Whyte. Let's see if it works out okay for him. If it does, and it all goes to plan and he does a better job on Otto Wallin than Tyson Fury did, let's see if Mr. Fury lives up to his word, assuming he gets past Deontay Wilder and fights Dillian Whyte in December. It'll be great to see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this a good choice of opponent? Again, we're assuming that Mike Coppinger, who's normally bang on the money, is bang on the money this time as well, and that it actually is accurate that Dillian Whyte will be facing Otto Wallin on October 30th. If that's the case, let me know what you guys think about the fight. Let me know what you think about the style matchup. Would you have preferred to see the Areola fight? Do you think this is a more dangerous fight or a more awkward fight? Or do you think the Areola fight was more dangerous or awkward? Drop it all in the comments below.